Hi everyone, welcome back to Trees and Turtles. My name's Imogen and in today's video I'm sharing how you can use the social timeline to your advantage. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that, give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram and let's get started. So first of all, what is the social timeline? Okay, so the social timeline is the expectation that you will have achieved particular things or milestones by a particular age. So for example, the pressure on women to have babies is like, oh, you're getting towards 30, haven't you had a baby yet, or haven't you got married yet, or the pressure on people to graduate from university is like, you're 24 and you haven't graduated from university, like what is wrong with you? Okay, so I'm 22 and I'm going to graduate when I'm 22 and I feel old graduating at 22, so the social timeline is affecting everyone. And I was reflecting on this and I was thinking, like, how can we like reframe the narrative? Like, how can we use this concept of the social timeline to our own advantage? And number one, obviously, this is going to piss a lot of people off, but be early whenever you can. And I don't just mean like early in life, but also early to appointments, because it gives people a positive impression of you, but also generally be early in life. If you think you've missed the chance to do something, focus on something else you're early for. So if you think you've missed the chance to like graduate early, you might be like super young to do X job, okay? So the social timeline is really subjective and different things are expected of us at different points. So if you're sick of constantly feeling like you're late for something, look at what you're early for, okay? Because chances are you're early for a lot of things and you can actually focus on being early for the things that you're still early for, if that makes sense. However, I will say at this point, most of the time, the timeline is meaningless and you haven't missed out on anything as long as you're still alive. I don't want this to be a video about reinforcing the social timeline because that is not what we are about here. I'm just recognizing it as a phenomenon that exists, and also I'm saying that most of the time you don't need to pay attention to it, okay? So it is meaningless. Like, if you're not dead, you can still make changes to your life, okay? So recognize that fact because it is a fact. Number 3, learn from people who have already done what you want to do, okay? Always ask for help and be constantly learning, because this is a massive way, like mentorship is a massive way to speed up your own growth journey. If you're feeling like left behind, find someone who's already done it before. Like, ask them, how did you do that, okay? YouTube is fantastic for this. You can find someone who's achieved pretty much any goal that you want to achieve, and they will talk you through it in depth. Like, I'm not just talking about my channel, but I found this really useful for myself. Just search up any goal you want to achieve on YouTube and you will probably find someone who's willing to explain how they have done it in detail, which I think is fantastic. Right, decide early on what you want and stop giving a fuck, okay? So for example, one of the big social timelines for women is the pressure to have children. But for me, I've known since I was a teenager that I never wanted kids, so this simply does not bother me. Like, someone asked me, when are you going to have kids? I'm like, never. And I'm secure in that decision. So if you can decide early on definitively what you want, then the pressure from others to adhere to specific goals on the social timeline will not bother you. If you're not interested in those goals, or if you've already got a plan to achieve them, then you're just not going to be bothered. You're just not going to care. You can also use it as motivation for planning. When you're secure in your life plan, very little about any external timeline can annoy you. So if the external timeline is pissing you off, have a concrete plan for your life, have your own timeline, and then it will honestly worry you less, because when you don't have a timeline, external timelines look a lot more legit than they actually should be for you, because the only person who can map out your life properly and give yourself a timeline is you. So give yourself a timeline and stop worrying about other people's expectations of it. Deal with jealousy over others doing cool stuff by also doing cool stuff, even if that's different, okay? So a lot of the time, we see someone younger than us who's achieved something and we're like, oh, that's terrible, I must be so old and I'm a failure, and they're young and successful, I feel horrible about myself. But this jealousy can be dealt with by you also doing cool stuff, okay? So for example, someone just graduated and they're 19, awesome, okay? You just rescued an animal from a shelter at the age of 25, okay? Whatever, that's fantastic. And someone's been traveling the world, fantastic. You just got a new job. Okay, so start doing cool stuff for yourself and you'll start being happy about other people's cool stuff. If your life is full of you achieving the goals you want to achieve, then you are not going to care about other people necessarily being better than you, because you're already working on your own stuff. So yeah, what are you going to do, right? Right, my final point is, do not take bullshit from anyone. If someone starts telling you that you're late, show them the door and use that negative energy to be better than them, okay? Make them regret ever saying it, because if someone's giving you bullshit over being late to a social timeline, then they do not have your best interests at heart, okay? So learn to ignore all of that energy, because it's just not going to benefit you in the long run. You have your own timeline, you're achieving your own goals, you're on your own journey, and they can honestly just go away and shut up because their opinion is irrelevant. So this video was all about how to use the social timeline to your advantage. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you guys next time. Okay, bye!